Hello, fellow Canadians. Do you love to travel? Are you planning on doing what we do and cruise around the world, but not sure what happens if you're gone too long? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into everything that you need to know about staying out of the country as a Canadian without losing your citizenship, healthcare, or your mind. In this video, I will cover citizenship, OHIP, travel extensions, and how to track your days outside of Canada. My name is Tori from the KirkToriStory. We sold our house in Canada in 2022 and have been traveling around the world ever since. We get a lot of questions about citizenship and healthcare, so this video was put together with you in mind to show you the highlights of what you need to know. First up, your Canadian citizenship. Well, the good news is that you can travel as much as you want without losing your citizenship. Whether you're hopping on a cruise or touring Europe for a year, your Canadian status stays intact. As a Canadian citizen, you have the right to return to Canada at any time, and you won't lose your citizenship based on travel duration. So, no, the government will not be sending the Canadian Mounties after you to hunt you down after 6 months. Keep in mind, though, if you are a Canadian resident traveling for extended periods, you'll still be taxed on your worldwide income, even while abroad. So it's important to maintain your Canadian ties, like a home or bank account, to ensure your residency status remains intact. Always consult a tax advisor to avoid any surprises, especially regarding income earned while traveling. So now that you understand the Canadian citizenship, there are still more factors to consider. Now let's talk about OHIP, Ontario's Health Insurance Plan. Here's where it gets a bit tricky. If you are physically out of Ontario for more than 7 months a year, you could lose your coverage. And trust me, that's something you don't want to mess with. So, for you to keep your OHIP, you need to be in Ontario for at least 153 days a year. But don't worry, if you know and you're going to plan to be away longer, you can apply for a special extension that will keep your coverage intact for up to 2 years. It's like giving OHIP notice that you're taking an extended vacation. Please note that I'm only talking about Ontario's healthcare, and if you're in any other province, you should look up their information and their rules. Applying for the extension is pretty simple. Just go to Service Ontario before you leave, fill out a quick form, and you're ready to go. You'll probably have to show them proof of you studying, working, or vacationing abroad. For example, a school or a work letter or whatever it is that you're doing, but it's totally doable. But if you don't apply, well, you could lose your OHIP and then have to reapply all over again. And that could take months to get it back. So remember that OHIP coverage is designed to support Ontario residents, and to maintain the coverage, you generally need to be physically present in Ontario for at least 153 days, or about 5 months, in any 12-month period. And if you're out of the country for longer, you might lose your coverage. It's crucial to keep track of the number of days that you're out of Ontario. This is important because you need to show that you've spent enough time in Ontario. I know, math on vacation, not fun, but it's way easier than you may think. Your passport is likely being scanned every time you enter or leave a country, especially when crossing borders by air or sea, and some countries report the entry and exit data to the Canadian authorities. It's not like you can call up the passport people and ask them how many days that you've been away. So you can use apps like Travel Tracker or just write down your cruise dates. I am one of those who writes everything down. What about you? Do you have a favorite way to track your days while traveling? Please let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already done so, could I please ask that you subscribe to this channel? We're here to offer the best knowledge that we can for you to travel better. So what are the implications? Well, if you're out of Ontario for more than 7 months and you don't get an extension, you risk losing OHIP coverage. In this case, you'd need to reapply upon your return to Ontario, and there's usually a 3-month waiting period before your coverage is reinstated. And during the time that you're without OHIP, you'll need private travel health insurance, as medical care abroad can be very expensive. But it may be really difficult to get any insurance without OHIP at all. So, what happens if you don't play by the rules? Well, there's no active tracking of every single day you spend outside of the country. Irregularities might be flagged if you frequently travel in and out, though. Upon reapplying for OHIP after an extended absence, you may need to prove your residency, for example, through utility bills, leases, or tax records. So you should keep your documentation handy just in case that you need to prove that you're an actual real Ontario resident. And that's about everything you need to know, fellow Canadian Ontario travelers. As long as you keep track of your days, apply for an OHIP extension, and make sure that you have health insurance while traveling, you're good. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it with your traveling, loving friends, and please don't forget to subscribe to KirkToriStory for more tips on traveling the world without headaches. Or if you would like to know how we saved thousands of dollars when we book longer cruises, then you must watch this absolutely eye-opening video. We're here to let you know how to save money and how to travel better informed. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.